I don't know about you folks, but as I wrap up one year, I start thinking about the next year. And as I am now helping tens of thousands of people each and every day, hearing from over 100 people a day, I am now convinced that most Americans, unfortunately, are not prepared for the future. We're going to have this conversation with Bo Eckstein where we break down what he is seeing, and we will talk about what you can do to get prepared. Bo, you're amazing. What's going on? What are you thinking?
First off, I want to just brag about myself. I was at the gym last week,
Okay.
and the night before I'd gone into this like boxing gym because I used to like martial arts, and then so I was doing the treadmill, and the guy next to me, I could tell he's a boxer because he wears like boxing,
Yeah.
uh, attire, and I go, hey, did you used to box? He has bad knees now. And he's like, yeah, I was, and then we start talking. He was a pro boxer. He used to be a pro boxer. He fought some big names. And I go, look, I like to hit the mitts. And like, he's like, I'll train you. And so today was my first day, and it
Nice.
was so, I lasted for about 20 minutes. But the point was, you go to the gym and you do the same things over and over again, right? Like, and your body gets used to it, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
need to always be challenging yourself. And like,
I
just
like
that
that.
15-minute workout was way better than doing an hour, of cardio. So
Nice. Cool.
it's fun.
All
I'm
right.
going to do that every week now until I get down to 10% body fat.
There you go.
But
All right.
anyways, yeah. So, how does business ownership fix over being overworked, undervalued, and underprepared? I talk to so many people, a lot of ORAP people as well, and it's like I had a conversation the other day, and the gentleman was like, "Look, I don't know how long my position. He's high up. He manages 25 people. A good probably $300,000 a year wage earner, makes good money. But he knows, no, there's no loyalty.
Right.
So, how business ownership fixes all three. You start thinking differently. You stop trading hours for dollars, and you start building something that compounds. You leverage instantly pricing power, tax strategy, equity growth, hiring and delegation, and asset appreciation, especially if real estate's involved.
Mm-hmm.
You break the W-2 ceiling. A business allows for multiple streams of revenue, semi-absentee models, the use of leverage via SBA financing, and scaling beyond just your time. So that's really how you break the cycle. Because I talk to people every single day. The other day, I was talking to another gentleman, and I looked at his, he filled out his intake, Mike, and he was a $300,000, 325 earner, and he didn't have like any money. And it's like, well, what's the problem? So I think that's really how we can start helping more Americans, because what's happening? People are stressed out. People, both husband and wife, they're working, both working now. There's no traditional where husband just goes out and wife takes care of the kids. That doesn't happen that often anymore, right? And so most families are forced for both of the spouses to work. So how do we break that cycle? We break that cycle by business ownership and investing in real estate. And many of the people don't have the down payment of 80 or 100 grand to buy their first rental property. So that's what makes me kind of, the urgency of the message of like, let's at least start a side business right now to increase cash flow so we can later take that and invest in real estate.
Yeah. When I think about, who I was a decade ago, right. Or even 20 years ago, much the same, like a lot of people you speak with, right. We had a decent income, high stress job, uh, you know, every quarter, right. I was in a profession where you could get fired every 90 days. And frankly, for most of my career, there were people in my group that got fired, right. It was a very much, eat or get killed environment. And we were seeing, we would see what we would call public executions, right? We had these quarterly business reviews, and we had some sick human beings, some sick VPs that would invite people to the QBR, put them on stage, talk about the horrible quarter, and then fire them in public. That person was wrecked. But you know what it did? It scared the bejesus out of everybody else in the room. And I got to tell you, it's highly motivating, but it's a sick environment and high stress. And you don't survive long with that kind of environment. So when you talk about being overworked, undervalued, and not prepared, I know exactly what that feels like. So again, if I go back in the time machine, something I should have done, right, is I should have started a side business. Maybe for me, it probably would have been vending, just knowing who I am, right? A couple hours a week, maybe get my daughter involved to help with the machine. But I should have done something like that. Why? Because my biggest problem, even though I was a real estate guy, is I had what was called passive carry forward, right? So I didn't take my losses against my income because I wasn't a real estate professional. But if I would have had a business and not been a passive investor, so it would have been active, I could have taken those machines and, at the time, probably written them off over 8 years or 12 years, whatever the depreciation schedule was. And I would have saved money on my taxes, plus had a business that was growing, plus involved my daughter, probably paid her a small salary and given her a boost in life when she was a teenager. And it's just these, like when you're a business owner, you just think different, right? The other thing I've come to appreciate now since retiring is the tax code is not a penalty system. It's a reward system. But if you're a W-2 employee, you're effed. It's not for you. It's for business owners and for investors. And I think that's just a light bulb moment. I love the book you wrote with Tom Wheelwright talking about the triangle method. It's something nobody's talking about. And I'm glad you got that book out.
Yeah, I think the underlying message too is we shouldn't allow ourselves to be at the mercy of somebody else's decision or their fate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, you could work at a company for 30 years and they get, for whatever reason, they downsize, they merge, and you're gone. Like, you have to at least be looking at plan B. I just had a call the other day with ORAT, and he brought up the word plan B. Because he's been listening, right? And it's true. Even if you're not ready, let's start exploring, get your feet wet.
It's definitely that time of year. I think you should do this all the time. But hey, if it's that time of year, I'd rather be lucky than good. It's that time of the year where lots of people think about the wrap up of 25 and the start to 26. Let me just strongly encourage you. If you're someone like me in your job and you're just a little bit nervous or you're not sure how long you could do it, go to onerentalmeeting.com. It's right there on the screen. Book a 15-minute call with Bo. Do a Zoracle. Figure out, just know what might be right for you, because you just never know. I know there's somebody in our community that was in the nursing practice. They're going to take that experience and skill set and start something really, really cool, which is awesome. Again, you could get a franchise. You could take your existing skills and really start something else, maybe do it on the side and then make it full-time. Folks, you don't have to be overworked, undervalued, and stressed out all the time, right? Take some activity. Make it a New Year's resolution to just know what might be possible.
Yeah, just getting in the right rooms. The ORAT event coming up in 2 months almost, right?
Yeah,
so
2 months.
Get in the right rooms. I just did a reel. I sent it to you. And it was I got in the right room and I wrote a book with Tom Wheelwright. If you're at events, you're going to get in the right room and you're going to meet somebody that's going to connect you, that can help you, that can mentor you. And that's what really, I continue to do that. And that's what I don't know, there's nothing more powerful than educating yourself and learning and then taking action, because you need to figure out, don't get stuck. People get stuck and they don't even do anything. That's the worst thing you can do. I always just try to move forward. I asked this guy to train me in boxing. Why? Because I want to get in better shape. I'm turning 48 on this coming Monday. Let's face it, my testosterone level's dropping. I'm tired more often. And so how do you reverse it? You got to put more work in as you get older. And if you're not a good saver, get a money coach. Start if you're well, I can't save money. Well, if you're making if you're making anything, you should be able to save some money. So even if that's your starting point, is to cut some subscriptions and save that $200 a month. Yeah, you got to start doing that.
Make it a game. Yeah, that's one of the things I think. I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people look at Olivia and I now, or Dion or Matt, the three amigos, and they go, I love their life. But what you guys always forget is all of us, myself included, we had a 5 to 10 year period where you would not want to live our life. We lived on half our income, which meant we didn't buy anything that we wanted. Only the stuff we needed got done. We were made fun of. Our friends made fun of us, right? Because we had the old cars. We didn't upgrade. We didn't buy a new house. I mean, just So again, you've got to make it a game. Make it a game, right? If you don't have, let's pick a number, 3 months emergency saving, please make that a goal for 2026. And ideally, I want it to be 6 months. But clearly, if you don't have 3 months, do me a favor, make that one of your goals to make that happen. Cut some stuff off until you're there.
And then when you have some money, and then the other thing that, like, even if you don't have a ton of money, you might have a group of people you know, like, and trust, like how we're buying this, we're investing into this restoration franchise that does tile and grout, right? Like, little investment. I'm not the operator. And you know what just happened? I was working on a loan for a guy, and his investor partner backed out, and he said, okay, my parents said they would gift me the money where they're going to put an equity line under the property. And that's taken too long. And now the seller is so pissed off. He's like, hey, I'm done. I'm not selling it to you anymore. It's been way too long. So he called me to tell me that. And I said, look, I said, I got investors. I've got, and I do, and I have money. So this coming Sunday, I'm having a call with him and my 2 other partners, right? Because we can save the day and we can make some money. And that's what we're going to do. So, like, when you have a little bit of capital and you put yourself in the right rooms, because I met these guys in a mastermind group, and we're doing the other deal, and we're probably, maybe we'll do this deal. We're going to do 5 or 10 deals like this next year. It's because I put myself in the right room. I continue to network. I build relationships with people that are driven and like-minded. And that's like that. If you're always just in like a W-2, like, corporate environment, yeah, you might be there. There's probably very successful people that have done well, that have nice 401ks. But, like, if you put yourself in a room like ORAT event, things like that, that's a totally different mindset. That's really like where you're going to get the skill sets, and you're going to be around people that are driven. And that's the thing. Like, I know personally, when I see that encourages me to go. So, like, guys, like, if you haven't got your ticket yet, if there's, tickets left, you better get your ticket.
Less than 100. We're under 100 tickets left.
I'll be going to your event until I'm either dead or until they stop existing.
Until I stop doing them, yeah.
Right? Like, one or the other.
There you go.
And that's like, written in concrete, because I understand the value of attending an event, a good event, and your events are definitely awesome. So that's just encouragement for you guys to get, especially if you need a kick in your rear end, just, get plugged in, come to spend 2-3 days in Las Vegas, spend a day relaxing in Vegas, and then 2 or 3 days or 2 days for the conference, and go back for 2026 and get rich in 2026, because you come to the event and you're ready to engage and implement.
Yeah, folks, at the end of the day, kind of as we started this video, why is everybody overworked, undervalued, not prepared? It's because you're living in the rat race, right? The hamster wheel. There's a game called Cash Flow by Robert Kiyosaki. It's a great game, and to get to understand that the rat race is real, but you can get off. And how do you do that? Well, first step, onerentalmeeting.com. Go reach out right now, schedule 15 minutes, and figure out what might be right for you. Bo, you're amazing. Thank you again. Onerentalmeeting.com.